I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're talking about a captivating memoir called Too Ground to Keep, A Search for Love, Forgiveness, and Healing by Judy Fambrough-Billingsley. It is a profound book that traces Judy's poignant journey from abandonment to the heartwarming discovery of her birth parents and her heritage, including the tragic fate of her Ashkenazi Jewish grandmother during the Holocaust. Her story is a testament to the power of resilience, the quest for identity, and the healing capacity of love and forgiveness. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Judy, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. I really appreciate being here with you and your audience today.
Oh, my pleasure. Great to have you on our show. Tell me what propelled you to go on this personal quest to uncover your origins?
Oh my goodness. It actually started when I was in sixth grade, and the English teacher had us kind of write, who are we? Who do we look most by? Mother or father. And I realized because I knew I was adopted, my adoptive parents never hid that from us, my sister and I, that I really couldn't write that because I wasn't sure who I looked like.
Oh.
And so I kind of vowed to myself at that time, I remember it vividly. I said, I am going to find both of my birth parents and meet them at least once.
Mm.
But of course, life takes over growing up, going to high school, college, all of that. And so I set it aside. And as I got older, I never took it out of my mind, but I loved history. And so I said, kept that in the back of my mind. And then I began when I was getting close to retirement.
Mm.
And I thought, I need to find them.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about your journey to find them.
Um, the book is one that may give you the impression that it didn't take a long time, but actually it took a lifetime for me.
Mm.
I began one day when I was injured. I played soccer for many years as an adult, and I was injured, so I was at home. And I said, my adopted dad, which I call Daddy, so we won't get that mixed up. He did
Mm.
raise me. He gave me a shoebox full of my adoption papers and letters. And I said, well, let me just sit here since I have to nourish my nurture my swollen ankle. And that began. Now that was back way before we had the internet. And
Mhm.
so I don't know if some of you remember, but used to call the directory assistant to
Yeah.
get people's phone numbers, which was, I think, a 411 or something like that.
Hmm.
And so I did, through my adoption papers, see that my birth father, who was the easiest to find, uh, of course, had served in the US Army and stationed in Germany, but lived then in Pemberton, New Jersey.
Hmm.
So I got on the phone. I called everybody, the directory assistant, who only would give me 3 or 4 names at a time in the phone number. And I finally reached my his mother, which would be my grandmother.
Amazing. Amazing. What was that call like? Was it kind of unraveling, unnerving?
I was prepared for rejection because I had done a little homework and research on psychology. Actually, being a high school principal, I had taught for many years psychology. And so I said, well, she may reject me. So the phone call was very crafted from my angle that I
Mhm.
told her I was looking, searching my lineage and came across the name. And that's how I introduced myself on the phone. So it wasn't um, I didn't say I was daughter or anything, just, related. And she said, "Oh, honey, that's my son." And so I was like, "Oh my God." But I said, "Well, do you have a phone number? May I talk to him?" That's how it happened. I did not tell her that I was
Right.
long lost daughter.
Right, right. Well, it's smart to give it in piecemeal rather than putting it all out there because it might be
Yeah,
too much to handle. Now, the
absolutely.
title of your book is Too Brown to Keep.
Yes.
Did your race have anything to do with your adoption?
Yes, it did. And when I say that, I say it emphatically because um, if you think of World War II and Hitler and the Aryan race
Hmm,
and what everyone was supposed to look like that came from the best race
hmm.
during that time in Germany, also the United States, but I'm talking about Germany right now. That's where I was.
Yeah.
My out of the six of us children that my birth mother had, I'm the only brown skinned one.
Hmm,
And so my sister, who was adopted with me, we have the same mom and dad. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, light skinned, only when I show up, you know.
hmm,
Um, and so I knew that talking to the villagers, talking to my babysitter, reconnecting with her when I went to Germany, um, that it was difficult when a German white woman had children that were mixed, especially brown.
hmm.
Um, and so that's how that came about. I had not thought about the title. And one evening, I was publicly rejected. I write about that at a birthday party in Germany in my village. And I was at my babysitter's home and I was asleep. And in the middle of the night, I said, "Oh my God, too brown to keep." And I
Hmm.
jumped up and I wrote it down because you know how you get those ideas
Yeah. Get those
and then
great
you go to
ideas and can't
sleep.
remember them head or tails in the morning, right? Yeah.
So I wrote it down and then got back in the bed. And that's over the advice of some publishers. Um, I said, "No, that's the title of my book. That's me."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's powerful and it catches your attention and it's part of your story, so it
Yeah.
it certainly fits. How did the discovery of your Jewish heritage impact your sense of identity?
I was surprised because I taught history and did a lot of research on World War II and the Jews, the plights of the Jews in the concentration camp.
Mm,
It's deeply saddened me
mm,
um, because it isn't just about her being in the concentration camp, but also my birth mother, as I talk about her watching her mother being taken out of the home. Indira was my birth grandmother,
mm,
and put into that Nazi Germany truck and sent away.
yeah.
So, there's the history, and I got that through my family and through my siblings. My brother, I have two brothers that are in Germany, um, and they knew of it, and so they shared it with me.
Mm. Yeah, it's that kind of is such an impactful story. I mean,
Yes,
it's one thing to know about the Holocaust, it's another to know that your grandmother was killed in the Holocaust. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, it
Your
was.
memoir includes a guide to researching your genealogy, right?
Yes, it does.
And that's to help others who might be in similar situations, wondering about their lineage and so forth.
Yes, I had done some research in regards to searching for
Mhm,
your family, and I thought I'd like to do a chapter just on my experiences because I not only had to search for them here in the United States, but I also had the international piece.
mhm,
And so I wanted to kind of help out with that. And I give some suggestions at sites. Um, I was blessed because when my dad gave me the shoebox, not only were my papers in German, but had been translated into English because my
mm.
birth parent, not my birth, but my parents who
Adopted.
adopted me needed to know what the legal pieces were.
Yeah. Love, forgiveness, healing, they're all central themes of your book. Uh, Tell us about how your quest to find out your identity has impacted or changed your life?
Oh, it's deeply changed my life. I always felt guilty that out of the six of us, because I was brown skinned, we were given up. As I began to do my research, realized, oh my God, there are six of us. She gave four of us away.
Hmm,
It can't be the color of my skin. It's got to be something in her character.
hmm,
And so, um, for me, as I write in that chapter of love and forgiveness and healing, forgiveness isn't about forgetting. I'm never going to forget. But for me, forgiveness is about not allowing someone who has hurt you to take the joy from your life.
hmm.
And so to understand my birth mother, Elsa, and the trauma she went through, and maybe that was the only way she knew how to cope was to, once things got tough, she gave my older brother up during World War II. He was 3 days old in the hospital. She walked away, and I'm not going to say any more else. You'll have to read the book.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But all of us that I realized um, why she made those decisions. I'm not making excuses, and I'm certainly not saying it was the right decision,
Hmm,
but she made them. And so I think you have to learn to not allow other people to take your joy. And I don't want
yeah,
that to happen to me.
exactly. And you were blessed with adoptive parents who loved you and gave you a good home and
Absolutely.
got you educated and all of that
Christian
good stuff
values and
too.
all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, I imagine particularly as a young person, it's a lot to grapple with. Like the people
Mhm.
who are raising me, quote unquote, really aren't my mother and father, although they really are because they're the ones who are worrying about you, crying about you, caring for you, and loving you.
Yes.
So it's a tough situation for a child to be put in or an adult to be find out that they're in. So
Yes.
this book is a fascinating book. It's a interesting journey. And I think it'll help a lot of people out there who are searching for answers. The name of the
Absolutely.
book is Too Brown to Keep, A Search for Love, Forgiveness, and Healing. And it is highly recommended. It's a powerful story. Judy, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much.
My
Thank you very much.
pleasure.
And my book
Thanks.
is on Amazon.com.
Absolutely. And the links are below this interview.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
My pleasure. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.